I almost got into payments by accident. I started my career as an after-hours lost and stolen card clerk, where I was the guy that was answering the phone between midnight and 8 o'clock in the morning if you happen to have lost your card. I was young, so that meant that from 8 o'clock in the morning, instead of going home to sleep, I had quite a bit of energy. And the way that I learnt about the payments industry was actually spending the rest of my time from 8 o'clock in the morning, say, to sometime that afternoon every day, in all of the other divisions of the card division, understanding what each of the individuals were doing. So whether that was in customer care or fraud or product development. So over time, because of that learning exercise or that self-training exercise, I got to know everything there was to know about card, both on the issuing, the acquiring, and the back office processing side. And that really was my education in payments. At the time, there was no real formal education in payments, so even though I was very interested in this space, I couldn't go to a university and get some kind of a qualification, or there was no real body of knowledge or body of training available to do so. So the only thing that I could really do was train on the job. It interested me so much that I started thinking about how payments would matter outside of the card environment, which eventually led me to mobile payments. Trying to understand how e-commerce was relevant to the African consumer, I quickly understood that the African consumer doesn't have internet, let alone a PC to access the internet. But what they did have was a mobile phone. So as many as 15 years ago, started thinking about what can we do with a mobile phone and how can we connect the mobile phone to payments. So working in financial inclusion for some 15 years now, I've reflected on what is wrong in terms of our pace at which we can include people into the financial systems. I think that many of the business models are there already, and many of the innovations are there already, and I'm sure that we'll see many new innovations and new business models. But yet the pace of inclusion isn't quite happening as fast as I really thought it would over the past 15 years. And why not? I really think that there's too few people working in financial inclusion. Those that are working on financial inclusion are primarily within the development sector, coming from the US or Europe or more developed markets and focusing on the needs of the poorer consumers in poorer countries. Yet there aren't enough people in the poorer countries working on these problems. And I hope that through the Institute we can change that. I hope that we can build capacity in the markets where it matters. I hope that over time we can get as many people working in digital payments as we need to implement these models that we've come up with and these innovations that we've come up with, and ultimately have more people financially included.